Welcome to the virtual class of Social Studies. Today we are here to learn the 16th chapter, Sending Messages. Children, this is a practical lesson because we use different ways to send or receive messages in each day of our life. Here we will understand the meaning of communication, different types of communication, mass communication, etc. So, let us begin the chapter. Meaning of communication. Well, communication is an exchange of facts, thoughts, ideas, and information by two or more persons. Now, we have heard before that we human beings are social animal. Now, because we are social, we need to share our thoughts, ideas, and feelings or exchange information with people. And when we do that, we are communicating with people. Children, how do we communicate? Well, there are two types of communication that we do: verbal communication and non-verbal communication. Speech is the most, this is the fastest method of communication between people. However, when we have to share our feelings or exchange information with people who are not physically present with us, then we send messages. And we have several ways of sending messages, children. Like we can send letters and post. We can talk to them over phone. We can also send them an email to convey the message. So these are all forms of personal communication. That means we are communicating an individual personally. Children, long ago, people sent messages through carrier pigeons or had to send someone with the message. Yes, this is true that earlier people used to send messages through pigeons. Now, today we have more reliable and faster methods of sending messages. But before learning about different methods of sending messages, I have to share a piece of information with you. Now, did you know people who cannot hear and speak, how do they communicate? Well, people who cannot hear and speak communicate with others using the sign language. Now, children, Macatane is a unique language program that uses symbols, signs, and speech to enable people to communicate. Yes, now we will learn about the methods of sending messages. So, the first method is postal system. Now, the postal system was established for sending messages. Now, there are thousands of post offices all over India. We can send letters through different post offices. We get an inland letter, an envelope, postcard, and postal stamps from post offices. Now, children, our letters and cards are carried by trains, buses, aeroplanes, and ships. Thus, it may take few days for them to reach the destination. But what will you do if there is an emergency, if you have to send a message urgently? People used to send those messages through telegram. Yes, because telegram reaches sooner than the letters or postcards. Okay, now we can also send money orders and parcels from post offices. Children, post offices also offer courier services known as speed post. Now, letters sent through speed post takes only 1 or 2 days to reach any city in India. So, courier services, they are also offered by a number of other private companies in India. I'm sure you would have heard these names like Blue Dart, DHL, DTDC, Gati, FedEx. Children, these are all private companies in India providing the courier services. Now, Another method of sending messages is email. Now, email is also known as electronic mail, which is a very convenient and fast method of sending messages. Okay, how can we send email, children? See, we can send an email through computers, laptops, tablets when they are connected to the internet. And these days, emails can be sent through mobile phones also. Okay, excuse me. Now, another method of sending messages is telephones. Children, the telephone is the fastest and most convenient means of sending spoken messages. Almost every city and town in India is now connected to telephone. So, we can instantly talk to anyone, anywhere in India or in the world through the telephone. To talk to someone in another city in India, we use STD, which is subscriber trunk dialing. And to talk to someone who is in another country, we use ISD, international subscriber dialing. Okay, now next method of sending message is cell phones. So children, these mobiles or cellular phones are phones that can be carried along with you. They are very convenient. Now you can also send short messaging services, okay, known as SMS. Yes. Children, cell phones becoming cheap and new methods of sending urgent messages such as email and SMS. The result is that fewer and fewer people are sending handwritten letters now. Yes, because it is quite convenient for us to type an email and send, or simply just send one SMS instead of sitting and writing down the whole letter, going to post office and posting it. Now that is the reason why fewer and fewer people are sending handwritten letters nowadays. Okay, another example, of how do we send messages is smartphones. Now children, smartphones are quite popular because apart from allowing you to make calls, smartphones can be used to connect the internet, and we can record video and send, or we can capture picture and also we can send pictures. And not just that, we can also send or receive emails using smartphones, and also we can download music, movies and share them too. Okay, children, another method of sending messages is through social networking sites. So we have networking sites like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Okay, now I will discuss about these networking sites in the coming slide. But let me tell you, the another method of sending message is fax, which is facsimile. Children, to instantly send written messages or pictures, we can use the fax facility. It is a document sent over the telephone. Now for this, children, see, we need to have a fax machine connected to a telephone line. Okay, so that we can get the message instantly. Now next important heading is mass media. Children, to understand about mass media, we should know that till now we have been talking about personal communication, or one person sending messages to another. But often we need, to send messages to a large number of people at the same time. And this can be done through newspapers, news channels, internet, satellites, radio, television, etc. So what are they? Well, these are called mass media. They are means of mass communication, that is, communicating a message to large number of people. Now when I say internet, children, remember I showed you a slide here about networking sites. So yes, these social networking sites are also example of mass media, alright, where we communicate to a large number of people. Yes. Now let us look at the other examples of mass media. So one example is social networking sites. Other example is newspapers. So children, newspapers, they give us news and information about events from all over the world. A large number of newspapers are published in India in several Indian languages. So that means a large group of people, large number of people are reading newspapers and this message is being passed. That is why newspaper is an example of mass media. Another example of mass media is radio because it gives us news, educational and entertainment programs. It is very useful for people who cannot read or write because these radio signals can be received all over India. And the FM radio stations like Radio Mirchi and Radio City have become very popular in our cities. Children, now to understand about satellites, we need to understand that how is it possible that a cricket match which is happening somewhere in Australia, we are able to sit and watch at the same time here in India. Now this is possible because of satellites. What happens, children? Now television signals from one part of the world can be sent to another part of the world through satellites. Okay, that is why news, educational and entertainment programs telecast on television are watched by millions of people. Okay, now television signals can also be received all over India. Since television sets are expensive, our government now they have installed television sets at community centers in several villages in India. Alright, so with this, children, we have come to an end of the chapter. Let us look at the summary points. Communication means exchange of ideas, thoughts and feelings with others. Email, telegrams, telephones are fast means of communication. Now, radio, television, newspapers are means of mass communication. So meaning of mass communication, that is communicating a message to a large number of people at the same time. Okay, last point here. Television is the most popular medium of mass media because people who cannot read or write can understand the message. With this, I would like to end my video here. Thank you, children.